Hi guys, welcome back to BoomX Beauty Beat. My name is Laura and this is a beauty, lifestyle and self-help channel, and let's go to the self-help today. I want to talk about Meghan and Harry's interview on Oprah and some of the issues around that and ramifications around that. And the reason I find it falls within the self-help is, as many of you may or may not know, I have bipolar disorder, which is, sometimes it's relatively okay and sometimes it's a serious struggle. And I certainly don't share like all my experiences around it. If any of you have questions about that, I'd be happy to share. I just think, well, people aren't really all that interested. But I wanted to talk about this interview, especially because of Meghan Markle's mental health struggle and crisis that she went through, and just talk about the issues in general. I believe, as we grow up, I was born in 1970, so I'm 50. I grew up, watching Cinderella and The Prince and Snow White and all these things as you're a kid. And we imagine ourselves, going to this, marrying our prince and going to this palace and living happily ever after and all of that kind of thing. We get indoctrinated into this thinking that that is like the pinnacle, the best. And here we are looking at Meghan marrying her prince and living in the castle and how that nearly ended her life. So I just want to talk about them. They also lived here on Vancouver Island. It's a very small island, lived not very far from where I am as well. The store they went to is a store that we go to sometimes. I mean, it hit pretty close to home here. It was a big deal that they moved to the island, and they were kind of getting hounded by the press and by media. If any of you have not seen that interview, you can probably go and catch some write-ups on it and YouTube vids on it, the follow-up version. I didn't get to watch it till last night, and it is still sticking with me. I am struggling the last couple days with my own mental health issues. The chemical imbalance you have when you're bipolar, you can have some control over it, but you don't have total control. I even did a makeup video yesterday that I ended up deleting, and you just go into all these awful bad feelings that it's hard to give a name to because it's part of the disorder. I also usually get a migraine attached to it when I'm getting that shift, and I happen to be struggling with that as well and trying to manage. I don't know if doing this video is the most brilliant idea today. I'm thinking maybe I can talk my way out of these feelings, but let's get into some of the issues that came up. My dear friend, lives in England, and she is Black, and she wanted to talk to me a little bit about the issues this morning, being that she lives there in England, and also talking about the racial issues. And I don't know if any of you guys watched the Piers Morgan rants that he went on Good Morning Britain, I think it's called, repeatedly with several different hosts and guests, and really anti-Meghan and all this kind of thing. I also watched several body language experts, because I always find that fascinating what they take from somebody's body language. They, from what I can see, have assessed that there was not any lying going on here. There seems to be this honesty coming from the both of them that I tend to definitely believe. I really felt for Meghan when she was talking about being trapped in that place and not, and her passport's taken and her keys are taken, and she goes for help regarding having thoughts on her life and she couldn't get help. I was really upset about that. I know how that can feel and how that can be. You have the whole world seemingly against you. I think anybody has the capability of decomposing their own sense of self when you're attacked in too many ways. And in this particular case, it seems to me like the British family and the institution and the firm and all that just freaked me right out hearing. I'm already a conspiracy theorist to a certain degree. It kind of comes in with my bipolar disorder, so that I just the feeling of trapped and controlled and in this foreign place and all of those kinds of things just really, I felt for her. I could see that she just wanted to do well by everybody. All of these made up stories and made up lies, and you've got the entire press kind of against you, and you're up against this massive institution that's been around for gosh knows how long. I can't imagine. So I feel so bad for Meghan, and I don't know if some of you out there have a different opinion. Of course your opinion is fine, but mine's also fine. And I just truly feel like these two kids, had good intentions and did their best to kind of give back in their way, and really were thwarted at every turn. I want to talk about the racism part of things too. I can see that this is, a topic that needs to be addressed as far as the secrecy of it, because things are said not obviously out front and above board in today's day and age, but if your family is seated in a certain bloodline and all of that, I can see how that indoctrination and that thinking can be so inbred that I can see it happening. Let's just put it that way. What do you guys think of the lack of action with Meghan going to the powers that be inside the institution, trying to ask for help with her mental health, and, just being quieted about it and not help? What do you guys think about that? It really, really bothers me. I can't imagine going, even if you were working a job, even if you're a volunteer somewhere and you went to any of the authorities and said, look, I'm having these thoughts, I need somebody to help me, and then just being told to be quieted. I can't, that's it's awful what that, and it's upset me to know, and so much so that I feel like we need to talk about it. The fact that they only could actually get help and advice from Diana's friend was really another revelation. To me, it kind of almost seems like, since the family, the royals themselves, have been indoctrinated into this life, it kind of seems like they're sort of, slaves to the machine. They don't know any other life or any other way to be. It's almost like Harry was sort of, in a way, saved by Meghan to show him that there was a different life out there other than the one that he was raised up in. Because if you're raised up in a certain religion or a certain family or a certain indoctrination, it's really, really difficult to see yourself in anything else or break away from that, because that's all you've ever known. I, for one, am really happy to see that they're in a new life and that they're doing something for themselves and breaking away from that. Because, the whole idea of royal anyway kind of is weird in my mind. I don't really see the point of raising somebody up or raising a family up to a point where it just seems weird. I didn't get raised there, but I do live in a Commonwealth country, and we have the Queen on our money and all that kind of thing. So I was raised in that. It just seems awfully the firm to me. And when Harry was talking about, his brother being trapped and his father being trapped into it, I sort of felt actually a bit sorry for them in a way. So it goes to show you, marrying a prince and, marrying an idea, nothing is never what it seems. And I'm going to go for hopefully a walk today, look at the sun, listen to music, try to see if I can get my own mental wellness turned around. If anything happens and you guys ever see me, go quiet for a little while, I've just got to tend to that first. It's my priority, because it's not really in my control. Things can shift. I can even take a vitamin that affects it, and throws me off. I certainly go through periods of really low and periods that are higher. I try to keep it as even as I can. But I hope this blows the lid off of an institution full of secrets, full of weird traditions, and I just hope that everybody can just be a little more human, caring, forgiving, and I'm so glad to see that Meghan is doing better and not on the verge of ending her own life, which just, she must have been going through a horribly trapped existence and seeing no way out of there. Anyways, thank you guys so much for joining today. I know this is a bit different, but I know a lot of people have thoughts about this interview. If you haven't seen it, if you've seen it, let me know what you thought of it. Did you feel like they were really honest and real? How did you feel about how Oprah did the interview? Do you feel like she asked good questions? I'd love to have a discussion about it and hear your thoughts. And until next time, when we do some more beauty stuff, we will see you guys soon. I also have some really great guests coming up next week as well, doing more interesting things that hopefully will help us in our life. All right, take care, you guys. Bye.